Yo, peace to you, family. How you doing? This is your brother. I want to do a quick video on this Bob McNair comments about the NFL players who are kneeling, saying, quote, "We can't have the prisoners running the prison." My family, if you needed any proof of why so many people were upset and are continuously upset about these players kneeling for the national anthem, if you needed any proof at all that this was and is viewed by many people as black people forgetting their place, as black people not being docile enough, of black people not being not seeing that their place is always subordinate to white folks. You know, this man I don't care what he says now. He absolutely expressed what not only, I'm afraid, the upper elite of the NFL, the owners, feel about this. Most of the owners feel about this, but also what a lot of white folks who are at the bottom of the society, who are pissed off at this, they feel about it. When people say, when white folks who have had no problem watching football throughout all the problems with the police officers that black people have been having, when people say, well, I'm no longer going to watch the NFL, but I'm going to watch college football. I want you to understand that. When they say, I'm not going to watch the NFL, but I'm going to watch college football, what they are saying is exactly what this man said. That black people need to remain docile. We need to remain subordinate to them, and anytime when we try to think for ourselves, unless we are willing to excuse ourselves from their world, then that's a problem. Now, this man followed up his little statement, and he said this, and I want to get this right because, ladies and gentlemen, this is massively important. And the fact that nobody is hitting this guy over the head with this is insane to me. Quote, he met with his players, with the players on his football team, and I understand that you have to make a living, and I understand that when the boss calls, you gotta go. But man, I'm telling you, if I was in that room, it would have been, I don't care if I was the star player, I might have had to look at that man and say, trade me. Trade me. I'm not a prisoner. Trade me. So, this article that I'm reading actually from Fox News, because I wanted to hear what they had to say. But he says, McNair says, quote, "I know they were upset," he told the Houston Chronicle about the meeting. "I wanted to answer their questions. I told them," this is the key point, ladies and gentlemen, "I told them if I had to do over again, I wouldn't use that expression." Understand what this man is saying. The sentiment was correct, but the expression was the problem. So he wanted to say what he said, but he didn't want to say it in that way. He wanted to say exactly what he said, but he wanted to use coded language. Black people, you need to wake up. You need to wake up. Either you buck dancing for these people, you catching the ball for these people, or you are nothing. Or you are nothing. Oh, excuse me. I apologize, because that's incorrect either. That's incorrect too. That's incorrect too. You buck dancing, you catching the ball, or you manipulating the people. Or else you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. And this guy, he's telling you that. It's time to wake up. I mean, he said it. I shouldn't have used that expression. Not that the sentiment was incorrectly. Not that what it actually stood for was incorrect. He said, I shouldn't have used that expression. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. You know, the fantasy, the fiction of what this country really thinks about black people, it's over. It's over. And it's a shame, because black people are some of the most patriotic people in this country. And this is what we get. Now I know you self-righteous black people are gonna come up on this video and you're gonna say, well, that's your stupidity. If you don't know, blah blah blah. Who cares? We are optimistic people by our very, very nature. We've always been optimistic. And we always hoped that these people could be reformed. I think Dr. King said at one time that they could be remade in the image of God. I was hoping that after Barack Obama, or even with Barack Obama, they would demonstrate that they had learned some lessons. But it's pretty damn clear that they haven't learned nothing. That they haven't learned nothing. When I first saw this, you know what I thought? And I need to be honest with you, family. I thought there is no how in the way that this man, this NFL owner, I mean, let's be frank, the owners had won. They had won. They had put a ribbon on top of this whole thing and was making it go away. I said there is no hell in the way that this man said this. This has to be a misquote. I mean, the fire was going out, and you're gonna say something like this? This is like taking a barrel full of gasoline and just dumping it right on it as it was smoldering. I mean, what are you doing? And yet, there it was. I'd like it if people who are condemning this man and the strand which he represents in the American psyche. But I fear that this is just a precursor to what really is coming. Family, there's a lot of things going on that we as black people, we don't know a lot about. We don't try knowing a lot about it. And these are things that can really have impacts on our lives. Financial things that are happening in the international world. Labor things that are happening domestically, meaning here in the United States. Next year, I am going to embark on a creative campaign to help educate us, so we will know more about where we are and where we are going. Very soon, I'm going to ask you to support that project. I'm going to ask you to support it and support me while I do it, so I can help us be prepared for what's coming. Because, look, all of us know something's coming. I'm not being dire either. I'm not being dire. But it's time that we really start putting some stuff into our brains that's going to help us understand the world. And not just understand it in a reactionary manner where we react to what is happening. We need to build our minds so we can be powerful people and help create and help maintain and sustain our reality. This comment, write it down. Put it up somewhere where you can always be reminded of it. Even add the reason why it was said. Why do I want you to do that? Because, ladies and gentlemen, we need to now have ambition, and we need to have inspiration to go for the gold with this. This is what many of them think about us. We are prisoners. And God forbid if we ever believe or think or want to act as if we are more than that. They believe we are prisoners. And they don't want us to forget it. I want to say peace to y'all. Have a great weekend. I may be back. Peace.